Okay, hi everybody. It's Miss Yam, and I want to first say that I think today was probably my slowest cognitive speed of my brain being in the game because I was not in the game today, and I thank you for dealing with me just not being on my A game. Such is life. And I also want to thank Jason and Nancy, who just very graciously stayed after class and pointed out what was just ridiculously and embarrassingly obvious. So I hope you have this written down. Once we are at this point, okay, -9 equals B minus D. Okay, what this means is that B and D have no other constraints, okay? No other constraints other than the fact that they have to, other than the fact that -9 has to equal B minus D. What this means is that B and D can take on any values as long as B minus D equals -9. And no matter what you choose, so maybe I can say B equals -12 and D equals -3 because -12 minus -3 equals -9. Maybe I'll say that B could be -1 and D could be 8 because then -1 minus 8 could equal -9. The point here is that no matter what values for B and D you plug in, as long as B minus D equals -9, that is a valid and legitimate choice of B and D. And you can go back to your decomposition. That is not part of this picture here, but it's earlier in the notes. And you plug in those values for B and D, and the integrating will work. You will get the exact same value. Now, knowing that B and D could be any value, what is the easiest possibility? Well, the easiest is for one of them to be 0. So if B is 0, then D is going to equal 9. That's one possibility. The other possibility is for B to equal -9 and D could equal 0. When you have a choice of 0, these are the two easiest, right? And so while I could go with any of these values of B and D, if I look back at the decomposition, and I happen to be in our room right now, and the decomposition was this, okay? It was A over X plus BX plus D all over X plus 1 squared plus C over X plus 1. The point here, and this is the decomposition, knowing you can pick any of these values, these pairings of B and D, let's pick the one that's going to advantage us most. Well, if I let B equal 0, look what happens. If B equals 0, it gets rid of the X term inside. And if D equals 0, it gets rid of this constant, and I'm left with an X term in the numerator. I'm going to opt to pick this pairing. Okay, and so then at the end of the day, this decomposition is going to be 6 over X plus 9 over X plus 1 squared plus, and I know we found C somewhere. Where is C? C, oh, okay. So C, what was C going to be? Well, if I picked B and D to be 0 and 9, and C is -1 minus B or 8 minus D, right? If C is -1 minus B, then C is going to equal -1 over X plus 1. You understand? Okay, so that's what I've got, and that came from right here, right? So this is the work above from the board. And then at this point, you're going to integrate each of these separately, and you will have your indefinite integral. Okay, so the point again, and this is, I hope if any of you ever decide to become a teacher, you will always, in those moments when you are, when you are beholden just to your students being a total team player, I give huge props to Nancy and Jason for helping dig me out of the mud, because I knew there was a way to resolve it. Just wasn't it wasn't occurring to me, and there was a way. there was a way, and this was the way. So thank you, Nancy and Jason. Thank you to you, everyone else who dealt with me not being quite up to where I normally am. All right. Okay. So so I'm going to put homework on the teacher page. This screencast is part of that homework that you watch this, and then the next time I see you is Monday. So just want to let you know that that homework assignment due Monday is going to be a fairly comprehensive integration problem set. All right, and thanks again. Have a nice weekend.